Shall we start? Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya al-mursaleen. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Liaquat and inshallah I'm going to be doing a little workshop on the rulings of zakat. And because normally people give their zakat in Ramadan, it's a good time to refresh people's memories. Just like we have to refresh our memories about Ramadan, zakat is also important as well. So first and foremostly, zakat is an obligation upon Muslims. Just like salat is an obligation upon Muslims, salat plays an important role in connecting ourselves on a daily basis with our Creator Allah. Without salat, it becomes very difficult for a person to have a connection with Allah. And zakat, on the other hand, is a very important part of Islam, which sets up a system in the world where all those people who are less privileged than many of us have an opportunity to be able to have financial means to be able to gain a similar financial opportunities that many of us have. This is why zakat in the Arabic language, does anyone know what it means? Purification. Uncle, I think I saw you last time when I gave this talk here. Yeah. You memorized my whole token. Purification. Excellent. This is one of the meanings of zakat. Any other meanings? Yeah. Ismail is about to say something. Barakah. Okay, barakah as well. And growth. So there's several meanings that the Arabic language has for the word zakat. One of the meanings is, like Uncle mentioned, purification. Purification is very important because when we give our zakat, what we forget to realize is just like this dunya is governed by the laws of science, the rain falls, the sun comes up, the sun sets. So all these laws that Allah has created in the world, there's also laws which we don't know yet. Scientists haven't discovered yet. Allah has told us about these laws. If you do guna, if you do sin, if you disobey Allah, this is what's going to happen to you. We don't understand why these things happen because we can't understand the laws behind them. Allah has told us, Allah never lies, so this thing will happen. And so when a person starts to give their zakat, the wealth that they have accumulated for so long, this begins to collect. And it begins to collect also filth with it as well. And this filth is like a magnet and it attracts all bad things in our lives. Yeah, and one of the signs of purification is whenever each one of us gives zakat, what happens is after we've given zakat or any charity, our hearts feel cleansed. Yeah, you try it yourself. Next time you give some charity, your heart will automatically feel cleansed. Yeah, and this is because money itself, cash, anything that we've worked for, anything that we've earned, is something which, for some reason, it has a connection with our heart. Our heart is made of flesh, money is made of paper. Flesh and paper don't seem to mix together. But for some reason in the chip shop, when you lose your £5 note, your heart feels it. Yeah, we don't know why, but your heart feels it. One of the laws of Allah that we don't understand. When you give your zakat, purification takes place. Number 2 is barakah. The more zakat you give, the more charity you give in Islam. The Prophet ﷺ, he said that a person giving charity in Islam will never reduce their wealth. Never ever will you reduce your wealth. You might think in your bank balance it's gone a bit down, yes. When your bank balance it goes down, but in the eyes of Allah, in the bigger picture, your wealth doesn't decrease. Allah will fill your bank account back up again, top it up again. And number 3 is increase, productivity. Allah will make your wealth more productive. Sometimes we have so much wealth in our accounts, in our wallets, it doesn't do anything. Sometimes we help someone out, all of a sudden now we get a new job. Yeah, we get new offers, some clients come to us. Allah puts people in our way, for us to benefit from them. So this is zakat. Now I want to mention to you about the rules of zakat because we don't really have much time. First and foremostly, zakat is necessary upon every single Muslim who is sane. Right? We all know that. A person who is not sane, a person who is not in the right mental state, where a person is, like they say, out of capacity, this person does not have to give their zakat. So if you have a relative at home, maybe they have a form of extreme dementia, maybe they're in a state where they can't understand who they are, or who their family members are, the rulings of Islam don't really apply to these people. Okay, Allah, He only makes a person responsible according to their capability. However, what about the zakat of a child? Does a child have to give zakat? Young child, 5 years old, grandparents, mashallah, very kind and generous, give them every Eid lots and lots of money. They've collected 200, 300, 400 pounds in their mum's account. Yeah, the special one that no one sees again. So now they've collected all this wealth, and so what happens is, does this child have to give zakat? Or maybe the parents have given the daughter gold, jewelry. Does he have to give zakat? There's two positions here. One position is the Shafi position. Shafis here? Yeah? Okay. All Shafis? No Hanafis? Allahu Akbar. Inshallah, we'll try to convert you, inshallah. Slowly, yeah? With some kujur. So basically, according to the Shafi school and according to others, they say that a child has to give zakat, right? However, according to the Hanafi school, they say zakat is not necessary upon anyone whose salat is not necessary upon. Because the two words come together in the Quran, and Allah's obligations are only upon people who are at the age of puberty. Right? So if you follow the Shafi school, then the child will have to give zakat. And if you follow the Hanafi school, then I personally follow the Hanafi school, I'm trained in the Hanafi school, so I would tell people that they wouldn't have to give their zakat. So this is the first issue. The next issue is, how does zakat work? Zakat in the olden days, in the days of the Sahaba, the Prophet ﷺ, was based upon the bimetallic currency, gold and silver. So there used to be two currencies that were in circulation, gold. So if you had 87.48 grams of gold, then you'd have to give zakat. But if you had silver, then you'd have to only give zakat if you had 612.37 grams of silver. Yeah, so for gold there's a threshold, and for silver there's a threshold. So in our days today, what do we follow? We have cash, don't we? So is cash in the ruling of gold? Is it in the ruling of silver? So there's a split amongst the scholars. So even in today, there's a split amongst the scholars. Some of the scholars say you look at the gold. So in other words, 687.48 grams of gold in today's times works out to be about 2,400 pounds. Right? So some scholars say if you have less than 2,700, you don't have to give zakat. More, you got to give zakat. Others say no, you look at the silver. So the silver was how much? 612.37. So that works out to be 240 pounds, much less. Right? So many of the scholars in the past will always encourage people to use the lesser of the two nisabs, because if you're going to use the lesser, more people are going to have 240 pounds. So more people will be given zakat, and therefore the poor out there would be benefited. So I personally use the silver for myself, and most of the people, I think it would be beneficial for them. Now, how does the zakat work? So basically, there's two ways that the zakat works. Okay, the Hanafi and the Shafi way. According to the Hanafi scholars, I'll tell the Shafi scholars first. According to the Shafi school, it's basically like this. Every time you earn an amount which is more than the nisab, let's say 240 pounds. So in January you earned 500 pounds. You have to work out 12 months after that, and you've got to give zakat next January if you have more than 240 pounds then. So you had 240 pounds in January 2019. 2020, you've got more than 240 pounds, right, you got to give zakat. February, every month when you receive an income, you've got to work out 12 months. Now, accountant, mashallah, will be very happy, yeah, because you're going to have to go to him and work out for every 12 months any income. So the National Zakat Foundation in Australia, who follow the Shafi school, they've actually opted for the Hanafi position on this, because it's more easier for them, especially nowadays when money comes and goes. For people to look at their accounts is very difficult nowadays. What's the Hanafi position? The Hanafi position is very, very easy. The first time you ever earned over 240 pounds, you work out 12 months after that, whatever you have in your bank account, or anything that you have, whether you received it yesterday, whether you received it 10 years ago, it doesn't matter. You have it in your account, you work out the zakat from that. Simple as that. Yeah. So obviously for the Shafi, this is the Shafi approach, and this is for the Hanafi approach. If you have any questions, you can just put your hand up and you can ask me, inshallah. I can answer those. Does everyone understand this, yeah? Okay. So now, if a person has zakat, what are the zakatable assets now? There are 5 zakatable assets. Just like I have 5 fingers, there's 5 zakatable assets. Number 1, gold and silver. Number 2, cash and receivables. Number 3, business stock and receivables. Number 4, business shares. And number 5, pensions, which are considered to be defined contribution schemes, pensions. Right, so we'll go through each one. So these are 5 things. Gold and silver. Number 2, cash. Number 3, business stock. Number 4, shares. And number 5, pensions. Okay? So when we say gold and silver, what do you mean by gold and silver? So if a person has gold and silver, if it's mixed assets, then you look at the lesser of the two. So if I have gold, I have silver, and they work out to be more than the lesser of the 2 nisabs. Lesser of the 2 is £240, isn't it? So you look at £240 and you've got to give zakat based on that. So if I've got, let's say, £500 worth of gold and I've got £100 worth of silver, 100 plus 500, 600, got to give zakat. Okay? Question comes is, what if a woman has jewelry? Does she have to give zakat on her jewelry? Again, there's 2 positions here. One is the Hanafi school, one is the Shafi school. The Shafi school's position is, if a woman regularly wears her jewelry throughout the year, she doesn't have to give zakat on it because it's considered to be one of the normal attires of dress. Just like she doesn't have to give zakat on her clothing she wears, then if she regularly wears jewelry, she's got to give zakat. If she doesn't regularly wear it, once, now and again, then she has to give zakat on it. Okay? Hanafi school say, in any condition, yeah, you've got to give zakat on jewelry. Any condition. Whether she wears it night and day, or whether she's got it locked up in the safe somewhere, yeah, she's got to give zakat on it. Yeah. Only gold and silver you don't have to give zakat on, right? Something maybe some of you guys will be interested in. Gold teeth or silver teeth. Yeah. So they say any gold and silver which is attached to your body, and if you remove it, it will hurt you, you don't have to give zakat on it. So I told one day, I was giving a talk and I mentioned this, and a guy says, what if a person feels it when they take money out their wallet to give it to charity? So I said, okay, I have to change the whole bayan now. So everyone understand that, yeah? So when it comes to gold and silver, now if you want to work out the gold and silver, how do you work out the gold and silver? 2 simple methods. Professional method, go to the jewelry store, a reputable jewelry store who knows the rules of zakat. They'll work it out for you, because sometimes you have jewelry, and in that jewelry there's 18 karat gold, and there's 22 karat gold, and there's diamonds in there, and there's all sorts of other things in there. So that's the best way. The cowboy style, option number 2, which people like me do. You go to your kitchen, you find the scales, you get the jewelry, you put it in the scales, right? And then you go online, you go to scrapgold.uk. Yeah, you can look for anyone, just write scrap gold UK. And they'll give you the daily value of scrap gold. You don't want new gold. All jewelry is considered to be scrap gold, by the way. It means it's been recycled. Right? New gold will be bullion, gold bullion. So basically what happens is, sometimes you might have told your wife this is 24 karat gold, yeah? But now zakat time's come, so you might as well tell the truth now, yeah? So the jewelry, they will tell you different figures. So for example, at the moment, 24 karat gold is about £29 per gram. And 22 karat gold is 27.5, I think, grams. So it can be a big significant difference. So if a person has 100 grams of gold and you're working out the highest level, right, you're going to be paying more than you need to. So that's basically what you have to do when it comes to working out the zakat. Everyone understand gold and silver? All right. Next, when it comes to cash. When it comes to cash, you give your zakat on the cash that you have, your PayPal account, your bank balance, whatever accounts you have, any sort of cash you have in there, even, I would say, even bitcoins, yeah, because now bitcoins is recognized as a legal sort of currency in many places around the world now. And so if you have these, you work it out, the zakat, right, and you got to give the zakat. What about money that you borrowed to someone? Right, so let's say, for example, I borrow money to Imam Sahib. Yeah, I borrowed money, Imam Sahib, I borrowed him £1,000. So he's got that £1,000 for 10 years now. Allah Akbar. 10 years have gone by. Imam Sahib still got £10,000. So now after, not this Imam Sahib, yeah, just in case you guys start looking bad at the Imam Sahib. So after 10 years, I don't have the 1,000. So do I still have to give zakat on it? Yes, I have to give zakat on it. Why? Because the rule is this: either I have possession of it, or I allow someone else to have possession of it. These are the two situations where you are considered to be owner of that item. So you have to give zakat on it. So if 10 years goes by and I get the money back, I have to work out, backdate 10 years of zakat on that £1,000. So every year I deduct 2.5 from the amount. So 1,000, 2.5 of 1,000 is £25, yeah? And then the next year I'll work out 2.5% of £975, and like that. Every year we decrease. Everyone understand cash? Okay. If you've given money to someone, like today I had a phone call. A lady, she's given money to someone, a large sum of money to someone, many years ago, and she said, I had no idea they're giving me back. In my mind, I assumed that this money, I'm never going to see this money again. So she said, now all of a sudden they're giving me the money back. Do I have to give zakat on this? No zakat. Yeah. So if money has been given and you lost all hope of receiving that money again, even if they give it back to you, you don't have to give zakat on it. Does that make sense? So this is the only situation where the scholars say. Number 3, business stock. So how many businessmen here? Right. Now, see, when we say businessman, you could be a businesswoman. You could be baking cakes at home. You got a business. Yeah, I'm not talking about legal. No, I don't have no business. Yeah. But, when it comes to Islamically, anything you purchased with the intention of sale, it means business. You bought a house with the intention of resale, buy to sell, then you're in a business. That's a business, that is, Islamically. You bought ingredients for a cake, to make a cake to sell, then you bought the ingredients for resale. Anything that you buy for resale, you have to give zakat on it. Yeah, the value of the item. So how do you give a value? Let's say my friend has a corner shop, grocery store. So he asked me, how do I give zakat on this? I said, okay, what's your business worth? He says, my business is worth £100,000. Okay, you don't have to give zakat on all 100,000. You only have to give zakat on 3 things: liquid assets, cash in the business. Number 2, on stock, inventory. So he's got tin food, other things as well, groceries in there. He works out the value of what he has priced it at. So when you go into the shops, as the Tesco, you see the price there. If it's already been priced. If it hasn't been priced, then you can use retail, the wholesale price. Right? If it's difficult for you to price everything, estimate, roughly give a little bit extra, and work out the zakat from that. If it's dead stock, whatever the current value of the dead stock is, you give zakat on that. Yeah, so this is the rulings regarding business. However, when it comes to business, anything which is a fixed asset in a business, like building, machinery, like a taxi driver has a car, or you buy a house for rent, buy to rent, no zakat on these things. Yeah? Some brothers going, mashallah. Wow. Let me just text my wife. Yeah. So once I remember in one masjid, I gave a talk, and I told one brother, he put his hand up, he goes, Shaykh, if a guy has 50 houses on rent, how much zakat does he give? I go, 0. He goes, huh? Hypothetically, huh? I go, 0. Because when you buy to let something, it becomes a business asset. It becomes a fixed asset rather. It doesn't become, like we say, Zakat-able wealth. So everyone understand about business? Now, if you're a businessman and you don't have any inventory, but you have labor, like for example, you're a dentist, you're an optician, you're a locum, you work in different places, you do plumbing, whatever. So if you do labor work for someone and they owe you money, right? So let's say I knew a guy, he's a teacher, he does tuition. So he has lots of parents who owe him lots of money, right? So he said, sometimes at the end of the year, when I work out my calculations, parents owe me sometimes £2,000. Yeah, school tuition he does. He said, how much zakat do I give? I said, 0. Because it's not an asset. It's something you're owed. So anything that you're owed, not in exchange for a physical asset, no zakat on it. So let's look at an example. Let's say, for example, my friend, mechanic wala. So mechanic wala, I take my car to him, he fixes my tire, right? So he charges me. So when he charges me for the tire, he charges me for the price of the tire and for the labor as well. Okay? The tire is considered to be inventory. He has to give the zakat on the value of tires he has. But when it comes to labor, he doesn't have to give zakat on labor. So if I at the end of the year owe him, let's say, I don't know, I've got some crazy car maybe, yeah. Let's say the car, it cost £1,000 to fix the tires. Argument's sake, yeah. Maybe in Jannah. So, after 1 year, after 2 years, I give him the £1,000. Does he have to give zakat on the £1,000? Let's say 80% of that was the value of the tires and 20% of that was labor. How much zakat does he have to give? On £800. Excellent, Uncle Gaiba. Yeah, he only has to give zakat on the £800, not the... Does everyone understand that? Okay, so this is business. Number 4 is shares in businesses. If you've got shares, many people nowadays have got shares. Anyone gets shares now, yeah. In the olden days, it was only people with nice, iron suits on who would have shares. Now every person sitting on the bench outside of my house, on their phone, they can buy shares. So if you have shares, it works exactly the same as business, inventory. For example, my friend who owns a grocery store, his grocery store is worth how much? 100k, yeah. So let's say, for example, brother, I'm sorry, what's your name? Ismail, yeah. So brother Ismail, he says to me, I want to buy shares in his grocery store. I said, okay. So how much do you want to buy? He says, I want to buy 20% of the business. How much does he have to put into it? 20,000, okay. So he gives the man 20,000. Now zakat year comes, time of giving zakat comes. How much zakat does he have to give on this? So on this, according to the Hanafi, I'm telling the Hanafi way, according to the Hanafi way, when Ismail's zakat comes, the annual zakat anniversary comes, he has to give the value of 20% of the zakat-able assets that my friend has. So in his 100k business, let's say only 10,000 of that is zakat-able. 90,000 is fixed assets, fittings, structure, machinery and all that. Only £10,000 is zakat-able. So how much of that out of that 10,000 is Ismail eligible to give zakat on? 20%, which is 2,000. Yeah. So only £2,000 he has to give zakat on. So he works out 2.5% of £2,000. 2.5 of 2,000 is how much? £50, yeah? Yeah, Allahu Akbar. Khalas. Yeah. Now according to the Shafi school, what would happen is here, you'd have to work out in January how much income was made from that business. In February how much income was made. Does that make sense? So every time income is made, you'd have to work that out. That's the difference. Okay, so everyone understands shares? So okay, let's say you got...
So that's quite a simple example. So if you had shares in
Yeah, I was trying to skip that one day. Yeah, I was going to say, quickly skip so we can finish. So okay, let's say you got shares in a big company. Nowadays you have things like ISAs, right? Where you invest and some guy out there with a suit on will go and invest in 100 companies for you, right? You don't know which companies they are. So the rule is this: if you can find out, let's say you've got shares in Royal Mail, for example. If you can find out the value of those shares, how much zakat-able assets they have, all you have to do is work out your value of your pot, your shares, the value of your shares, and you work out how much you have percentage, and you work out the zakat similar way. If you don't know, then National Zakat Foundation's Board of Scholars, they've actually gone through the FTSE 100, and they've worked out all the zakat-able assets of all 100 businesses, major businesses in the UK, the FTSE 100. And they found that the most any business, this is like a conservative value, 25% is zakat-able. That's at most. So therefore, if you don't know how much zakat-able assets a business has, all you have to do is just use the 25% mark. So let's say, for example, you have shares in Royal Mail and you don't know exactly how much zakat-able assets they have. It's too difficult for you to work out, right? They give you loads of figures. Simply, wherever you have, let's say you've got £1,000 value of shares in there, 25% of that. Yeah, £25. Yeah, 25% of what? Oh wait, 250 just got me scared there. I was thinking, I'm sure I did good in GCSE maths. So 250, so all you have to do is give 2.5% of 250, that's what. That's the easiest way. However, if you have shares in like property, buy to sell property, you have to give zakat on the entire value of your pot. Because the entire thing, the entire amount that you have is considered to be zakatable, 100%. Is that? Yeah, so again, according to the Hanafis, on the date of your zakat anniversary, right? So all you have to do is whatever it was worth on that day, you work out 2.5% of that day. But again, if you're Shafis, then every January, what it was worth, February was, and this is why I said the National Zakat Foundation of Australia, who are predominantly Shafis, have taken the Hanafi position on this. Because it's just more easier for people. Like, in reality, Allah has not sent this deen down to stress anyone. If you're going to be spending your days, your month of Ramadan, stressing about how much zakat you got to give, it doesn't seem to be something a part of the deen. Yeah? In the olden days, it makes sense when Imam Shafi was around, the business was very simple. Now it's become very complicated. So to take another position, like the Hanafis take many of the other madhab's positions as well, in many issues. Yeah? I mean, I don't want you guys to convert yet, yeah? Yeah, after you break your roza, then you can think about it. So anyway, so does that make sense? Okay, so this is how it's done. Finally, when it comes to what was the fifth one? Pensions, Allahu Akbar. You only have to give zakat on pensions that are called defined contribution schemes. What's a defined contribution scheme? It simply means this. When they send a letter to your house, they tell you, where would you like your investments to be made? Your nest. Where would you like your investments to be made? So you say, okay, I want some invested in property, I want some invested in this, and if you have the ability to do this, it's called a defined contribution scheme. If you don't have the ability, if your business boss or manager says to you, right, you can either contribute towards your pension or you can opt out, that's not called a defined contribution scheme. That's actually a defined benefit scheme. Okay? So most NHS, most civil service pensions fall under this category, so no zakat on them. So it's only when you have like a private pension, right, or a pension which is defined contribution scheme. And if you don't know if it's a defined contribution scheme, contact your pension provider, speak to them, ask them, is it a defined contribution scheme? If they say yes, then what do? Then you do exactly the same as we said in shares, exactly the same way.
What's the reason for the difference between the treatment of defined benefit?
Okay, so the brothers asked the question about why is there a difference? So the difference is because, like we said, when you have a pension, that cash, that money that you have, is only yours if you have physical or constructive possession of it, or you've given someone else, an agent, the ability to be able to deal with it, like a fund manager. Does that make sense? So you are technically still liable to give zakat on it. But if it's being done on your behalf without your say, or where it's being invested, you have no say. It's directly coming from your earnings and going into there. All you say is yes or no, then technically it's not considered to be a zakatable asset.
Even if you say, okay, 5%, 4%.
It doesn't matter. 5%, 4%, doesn't matter. Yeah.
A private pension, but the pension is frozen. How does that work? Or is it the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same, because it's still meaning that because there's a fund manager involved, that fund manager is acting on your behalf.
So they send you a statement yearly.
Yeah.
Telling them to lump sum your pot.
Yeah.
You don't pay the that.
If it's not a defined contribution scheme, correct. If it's like a NHS. I mean, all pensions really you can't really touch until you retire, in most cases. But you can ask for it, due to circumstances. Yeah. Yeah. So if it's a defined contribution scheme, then basically you ask them to break it down for you, where the investments have been made, and you deal with shares. So investments are being made in purely 100% zakatable assets like property, buy to sell property, right? Then you have to give zakat. So sometimes they'll have here's 100%, they'll send you one of those pie charts, and they'll say 25% of it is invested in property, buy to sell, 25% is invested in agriculture, 25% is invested in medicine, etc. Okay, you work it out accordingly. If you can't do that, what do? Just use the 25% rule. Yeah, that's much easier for everyone, and that's the fatwa of the National Zakat Foundation. You just, whatever your pot is worth, 25% of that, and then work out 2.5%. Yes? Yeah? Okay, time, yeah? Okay, oh sorry, I thought you were saying to me, yeah? Substitute coming on. Unfortunately, we know who won the league here, so. So,
So I've read one National Zakat Foundation say about achievement of pensions. I have actually looked into them.
okay,
Spent 52 years working with pensions.
yeah,
They want to talk to me after results.
okay.
So I've given them a list of things why I think they're not right.
Yeah. That's fine, yeah. Speak to the experts. Like, I don't write the policies with regards to, that's done by the experts in there. Okay, so, next thing is liabilities now. So what you do is basically all these 5 things of zakat-able assets that you have, you add them all up, and then you minus liabilities. What is a liability? A liability is anything that is outstanding on the day of your zakat anniversary. Yeah, so zakat anniversary is basically the day upon which your zakat is due. So any bills that are due on that day, so let's say for example, today is the 7th of Ramadan, the 6th of Ramadan, whatever is due today, bills, council tax, anything that's due, you can deduct all of that from your total. Yeah, you minus it all. What about when it comes to mortgages and credit card bills? So the rule for this is, you can't deduct interest, you can only deduct principal. You can deduct principal of what you owe the financial institute for the next 12 months. So for the next 12 months, whatever you owe them, principal only, not interest, you can deduct that from your entire zakat savings. Does everyone understand that? Yeah. However, you cannot deduct future bills. So future bills, something which you are going to give in the future. For example, you're planning to buy a house next month. You haven't signed any documents or anything. In that case, you can't deduct those savings that you've planned and you put away for buying a house. They're all zakatable, deductible. Or you're planning to get married and you're going to give your wife £10,000 in mahar, yeah? Or you can tell her. So, that you can't deduct that. Unless it's due. So if it's due, if you owe your wife £10,000 in mahar and you told her you're going to give her ASAP and you still haven't given her and you've got the cash, right, you have to give her legally, Islamically, you have to give her. In that case, if you're planning to give her very soon, you can deduct that amount. Otherwise, you can't deduct it. Yeah? So, that's one of the things. As for something which, like I said, interest you cannot deduct. It doesn't matter how much you owe the bank of interest, not principal, you cannot deduct that. Likewise, haram income, you cannot deduct haram income. For example, like let's say a person owes a casino so much money, you cannot deduct that. Yeah, sometimes Muslims fall into these things. May Allah save us. But these are kind of things that we've got to be very careful of. So that's basically the liabilities, and then khalas, finally, whatever's left, you work out 2.5% of that. 2.5% is whatever's left divided by 40. Simple terms. Jazakumullah khair. Yeah. Oh yeah. So combined, when it comes to combined savings, in reality, Islamically, there's no such thing as combined, anything combined. We pray our own salat, she prays her own salat. Yeah, we have our own savings. So for legal purposes in this country, we might call it combined saving, but we have to work out how much % is husbands and how much % is wives. Yeah.
So on behalf of all of us, just want to thank and say Jazakallah khair to Mufti Liaquat who's come all the way. He's taken time out. I've asked him so many times. Alhamdulillah, he's come to us, and I hope you come again, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Monthly youth event, one of the monthly youth events.
Inshallah.
Jazakallah khair.
Jazakallah khair.
Thank you so much. Can you stay back with us?
No, I'm
Too short, I know, inshallah.
I was going to question and answers, but chalo, next time.
Let me come in. So for those who can't, we've got Qari Ahsan with us right now. He's come from India, and as you can see, he's a problem with his sight. So, but inshallah, he'll be with us till Iftar. He's going to read a few things for us, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammadin wa barik wa sallim. आइए एक मुनाजात बारी तारा और एक नाते पाक सुना देते हैं आपको ही इतना ही वक्त जो है یہ لگن ہے دل کی یہ آرزو، تیرا نام ہر سو بلند ہو، تیرا ذکر عام ہو کو بکو، تیرا نام ہر سو بلند ہو، یہ لگن ہے دل کی یہ آرزو۔ تو رحیم ہے تو کریم، تو رحیم ہے تو کریم ہے، تیری ذات سب سے عظیم ہے، تیری شان جل جلالہ، تیرا نام ہر سو بلند ہو، یہ لگن ہے دل کی یہ آرزو۔ یہ زمین اور یہ آسمان تیری ذات ہی کا ہے آئینہ، نظر ان میں آتا ہے تو ہی تو، تیرا نام ہر سو بلند ہو، یہ لگن ہے دل کی یہ آرزو۔ میرا دل سرا ہے گندگی، نہ مجھے سلیقہ بندگی، میں عشق سے تو کرا وضو، تیرا نام ہر سو بلند ہو، تیرا ذکر عام ہو کو بکو، یہی سوچ ہو یہی فکر ہو، میرے لب پہ تیرا ہی ذکر ہو، شب و روز ہو یہی جستجو، تیرا نام ہر سو بلند ہو، یہ لگن ہے دل کی یہ آرزو۔ تیرا عشق دل میں ہو معجزاً، تیری حمد ہی ہو میرا سخن، تو ہے محسن ہمارنگ و بو، تیرا نام ہر سو بلند ہو، یہ لگن ہے دل کی یہ آرزو۔ وہ نعت پاک پڑھ دیتے ہیں حسب فرمائش۔ وہ جس کے لیے محفل کونین سجی ہے، فردوس بری جس کے وسیلے سے بنی ہے، وہ ہاشمی مکی، وہ ہاشمی مکی مدنی العربی ہے، وہ میرا نبی میرا نبی میرا نبی ہے، وہ میرا نبی میرا نبی میرا نبی ہے، وہ میرا نبی ہے. احمد ہے محمد ہے وہی ختم رسول ہے. مخدوم و مربی ہے وہی والی کل ہے. اس پر ہی نظر اس پر ہی نظر سارے زمانے کی لگی ہے. وہ میرا نبی میرا نبی میرا نبی ہے. وہ میرا نبی میرا نبی میرا نبی ہے. وہ میرا نبی ہے. اللہ کا فرما لم نشرح لك صدرک منسوب ہے جس سے ورفعنا لك ذکرک. جس ذات کا قرآن جس ذات کا قرآن میں بھی ذکر جلی ہے. وہ میرا نبی میرا نبی میرا نبی ہے. وہ میرا نبی میرا نبی میرا نبی ہے. وہ میرا نبی ہے. مزمل و یاسین و مدثر و طٰہٰ کیا کیا نئے القاب سے مولا نے پکارا. کیا شان ہے اس کی کیا شان ہے اس کی کہ جو امی لقبی ہے. وہ میرا نبی میرا نبی میرا نبی ہے. وہ میرا نبی میرا نبی میرا نبی ہے. وہ ذات کے جو مظہر لولا کلمہ ہے. جو صاحب رف رف شب معراج ہوا ہے. اسرا میں امامت اسرا میں امامت جسے نبیوں کی ملی ہے. وہ میرا نبی میرا نبی میرا نبی ہے. وہ میرا نبی میرا نبی میرا نبی ہے. وہ میرا نبی ہے. کس درجہ زمانے میں تھی مظلوم یہ عورت. پھر کس کی بدولت ملی سے عزت و رفعت. وہ محسن و غمخوار وہ محسن و غمخوار ہمارا ہی نبی ہے. وہ میرا نبی میرا نبی میرا نبی ہے. وہ ان کا نبی ان کا نبی سب کا نبی ہے. وہ میرا نبی ہے. رسول خدا کا مقام اللہ اللہ کرے خود خدا احترام اللہ اللہ. بتوں کی محبت تھی گھٹی میں جن کی گزرتی تھی عمر خون خچر میں جن کی. میرے کملی والے کی آمد کے صدقے بنے وہ جہاں کے امام اللہ اللہ. رسول خدا کا مقام اللہ اللہ. یہ فیضان رحمت ہے خیر البشر کا جو معروف قصہ ہے حضرت عمر کا کہ عمر اٹھنی کی نکیل آگے کھینچے سواری پہ بیٹھے غلام اللہ اللہ، رسول خدا کا مقام اللہ اللہ، جو درگور کرتے تھے خود لڑکیوں کو، سمجھتے تھے منحوس جو عورتوں کو، محمد کی آمد کے صدقے میں ان کو ملا زندگی کا نظام اللہ اللہ، رسول خدا کا مقام اللہ اللہ، درود و سلام آپ پر ہو ہزاروں، کہے نام بعد از خدا آپ ہی کا، ملک اور ملائک بھی پڑھتے ہیں محسن نبی پر درود و سلام اللہ اللہ، رسول خدا کا مقام اللہ اللہ۔
قاری احسان احمد صاحب ہے، ماشاءاللہ مشہور ہے، انڈیا کے قاری صاحب ہے، یہ ان کی نعتیں سن کر الحمدللہ میں بھی نعتیں پڑھتا ہوں۔ یہ بلائنڈ ہے، یہ آنکھوں سے نہیں دیکھ سکتے، مگر ان کی آواز انڈیا میں پوری جگہ پر مشہور ہے ماشاءاللہ، اللہ ان کو جزائے خیر عطا فرمائے، جزاک اللہ۔
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
بعد الله استووا استقيموا واعتدلوا عادوا من المناكب والأقدام سد الخلل استووا الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون
والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله 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 أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تلهكم أموالكم ولا أولادكم عن ذكر الله ومن يفعل ذلك فأولئك هم الخاسرون. وأنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي أحدكم الموت فيقول رب لولا أخرتني إلى أجل قريب فأصدق وأكن من الصالحين ولن يؤخر الله نفسا إذا جاء أجلها والله خبير بما تعملون. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله اللهم أنت السلام ومنك السلام تباركت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من عذاب القبر ومن عذاب النار ومن فتنة المحيا والممات ومن شر فتنة المسيح الدجال
अस्सलामु अलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। मेरे अजीज़ दोस्तों, अभी इफ्तिहार से पहले हमें शायर इस्लाम हज़रत क़ारी एहसान मोहसिन साहब नात शरीफ सुना रहे थे। हज़रत क़ारी साहब यूपी मुजफ्फरनगर से आते हैं। हज़रत अपने इलाक़े में 2 दारुल चलाते हैं और 5 मकातिब चलाते हैं। इन इदारों में 950 बच्चे तालीम हासिल करते हैं। इनका सालाना खर्च तकरीबन 60 लाख रुपए है, जो अहले खैर हजरात के ताउन से पूरा किया जाता है। आप हजरात से गुजारिश है कि आप अपनी ज़कात सदका लिल्लाह से जामिया का भरपूर ताउन फरमाएं। जज़ाकुमुल्लाह।